I'm dead.
Plug it in.
Now I'm not. Hey, now why is this working all of a sudden? Yeah, that was that dead mic. I want you all to know I picked up a new currency.
Good grief. I saw that, yes.
There's a lot of static, it says here. Well, I don't know where the static's coming from. Our fan is off, so...
Let me close that door over there, see if it's not that one there. See that.
Don't stay shut. There you go. Does that help any? Anyhow, Mr. T, would you like to hold this up to the front of the camera so everybody can look in front and the back? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Already. Okay, there it is. Put it a little closer because there's a lot of light going on it. Okay, that's a new $45 bill. Now show them the back. There you go.
Right on the light.
Okay, maybe the cable, no, the static is still bad. Okay. Well, there isn't much we can do if it's on the cable. We try to shut things down. Might turn the radio off. But there's a $45 bill that I picked up at the gun show this week. We're down at Rocky Road. So. My buddy Scott knows that I love chocolate and M&M's, and that. Oh, yeah, okay. Mr. T's over there playing with the knobs, not chasing his bear. You know, bear season came in. Did you remember the information you wanted to talk about?
Oh, it's in my head. I didn't bring anything on paper.
Okay. Alright. Hello, comrades. I'm back. That's Jack Flash. And hi, Jack. Anyway, gotta have some M&M's. I was at the gun show down in Rocky Gold yesterday and today, and being the weather was pretty nice, it was not very well attended, and people just didn't seem to be buying anything. I didn't sell very much. I ended up selling 5 magazines and a couple of oddball boxes of ammo. But none of the big stuff like a good old K-bar knife or whatever. But anyway, the weather was too nice, number one. And number two, this week we had bear season come in for muzzleloader. And then we had archery season come in for bear. Okay, so people could be out there shooting bear with a bow or whatever. Next weekend is Senior Citizen Weekend, where the seniors get a chance to go out and do early deer season starting on Thursday. So I am probably going to do that, go out Thursday and see if I can shoot me some fresh meat. And
classified as senior.
We are?
No, what age?
65 or older.
Yeah, not quite yet.
How old is you?
63.
You might. But anywho's it. I'm going to go out and see if I can get some fresh meat to fill the freezer with. And then I'm going to another gun show over at Jefferson, Ohio. And usually I do good at over in the Ohio shows, because over in Ohio, unless things have changed in the last year, they're not allowed to hunt deer with centerfire rifles.
think that's still the case.
Okay. But there's a lot of them that live along the Pennsylvania line that buy non-resident Pennsylvania licenses and come over here to hunt because they can use centerfire rifles instead of shotguns. So those people, because they can't hunt with it, the ammo is not readily available over in Ohio like it is here. So usually at the gun shows over there in Ohio, I get not picked clean, but I'll sell probably half of the centerfire rifle cartridges that I have. But anyway, hopefully it's a good show. I need a good show. I need 2 or 3 good shows. So let's hope that it's coming. Running bear in Pennsylvania, yeah, it's better to do it now than it does in another month. It gets awfully cold running bear, I'll tell you that right now.
I see what you did there, running bear. I get it now. Clever play on words, sir.
And so,
And
anyway,
my wife said that years ago I should go hunting bear. I said, it gets cold here. I have clothes on.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I always say. You going bear hunting? No, I'm going to wear the hunting outfit.
And you have to spray paint your butt cheeks orange, and it takes forever to get that stuff out.
Yeah, makes you look like the giant pumpkin. And you just have to paint the right part with the stem. Anyway, I'm sorry, I haven't had M&Ms in so long that
Now you're ridiculous.
now I'm picking on them. So, hey, help yourself if you want a couple. I'm not a hog. Much. Okay, well, before we get into the stupid stories that I've got, Scott was wanting to talk about, what's his face?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein.
Is he alive or not?
Oh,
Is he
it's
alive or is he dead? Or is it Memorex?
it's just I find it so telling of our society right now that, the guy's been dead for a month and a half, 2 months now, and he's all but forgotten. There was a friend of mine posted something about the Epstein pedophile cult, which essentially that's what it was. There always seems to be some new fiasco in the news when things like that happen to make it all go away. Now it's this Hunter, Biden, Ukraine, Trump, yada, yada, yada.
Syria.
Impeachment.
I saw, not to change that, but I saw something here where even Obama made overtures to the Ukraine to investigate the dealings of Biden.
Really?
Yes.
Depends when you're
I don't think there was a whole lot of love lost between Biden and Obama.
No, there wasn't a whole lot of love life.
Love lost.
Love lost. I know I don't feel sad that he's gone. Rather happy that he's gone. I went out and had a beer to celebrate it. But anyway, back to your...
Oh, I just...
Elijah Cummings?
Yeah.
He'd come and gone. I mean,
Yeah.
it did kind of... It made me angry. There was some postings on the different Facebook sites, and there were some pretty nasty comments about him being dead. Left, right, whatever. You should never celebrate when someone passes like that, especially an elected public official. Left or right. I am glad that he's no longer influencing things the way he was, but on the same token, we should not. It just
Shouldn't
shows
dance on his grave.
exactly.
And that I agree with you 100%. And I'm not so sure that God, I can't remember Epstein. I'm not so sure that we basically have heard the last of it. It may come out again if Hillary pulls a surprise. There's some talk that she's going to pull a surprise at the last minute and throw her hat
Oh,
in.
I know, because there's a meme on there. She wants to beat Trump again, okay? But as I saw more than once, the final tally, the popular vote, Trump won.
So,
I hadn't heard that one, but I don't pay much attention.
but the problem that I see about this Epstein shit is that two of his biggest clients were the Clintons, and nobody is saying a damn word about the Clintons going to his private island to smoke dope and other, you know.
Hellfire, you know. If that was the only reason they were going, I applaud it. Good. Go down there and get high as you want. But,
Yeah, but
all
that's
the other rumors of,
They don't want to be suicided.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true, but
What do they call it? Arkancided? Yeah, I guess Arkancided.
but we have we have so many perverts in government now that you don't dare, if you have the evidence on them, to go public, because you will be offed. And so just maintain that thought. If Hillary Beast should put her hat in at the last minute. So, anyhow.
Well, I saw something about her and Elizabeth Warren, okay? And we're going to talk about Elizabeth Warren running for president, Hillary's her VP, and then Elizabeth resigns and Hillary becomes president. Or Hillary just has, let's just say...
A meltdown.
No, Elizabeth beats an unfortunate, unforeseen accident, and then Hillary becomes president.
Like Kennedy did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She trips down the White House stairs, breaks her neck.
Yeah. Or
I'm sure
somebody,
Trump will get blamed for that as well, if it happens. Trump put in trick stairs to...
The handrails relaxed too much, and she's lost her grip.
Yeah.
Off she went down.
he super greased the floor, so it's...
Speaking of Hillary Clinton, have you guys paid any attention to what she's been saying about that with Tulsi Gabbard? Is that her name?
Yeah, something like that.
But how she's coming out and saying she's a Russian asset?
Yeah.
I mean, just completely. I mean, I didn't even see any of this coming. Just completely threw her under the bus.
Well, she's, I guess, taking a slightly different course than the rest of the Democrats running for president, so she's...
You got to discredit them. They have to discredit each other. And in order to make people believe that something has happened, I personally don't think that what's her name? You said
Gabbard, Gabbard.
Yeah.
And I don't really think she has much of a chance.
She doesn't. I mean, she barely made it onto the last debate.
The ones that I'm concerned about are Sanders,
Warren.
and Biden. Because if either one of those three get in there, you can kiss everything goodbye as far as this country goes. Our republic is being stolen from us, and the people are sitting back and doing nothing.
Well, they've been brainwashed into thinking socialism is best.
Well, yeah, they are. The kids are being brainwashed. They come out of college and they want everything for nothing. They think they're owed a living, and they want free college education. Of course, when somebody's running for president says, "We will pay for your college education," what do you think? What you're going to do? Hey, I want to vote for him because I can get a free college education for $250,000 to go to some of the best schools and not have to pay for it. And then I can come out and be the first generation college graduate to be on total welfare.
Now, something just popped into my head. Let's just play devil's advocate. That
I can do that.
an hypothesis. Okay, so-and-so gets in there and makes college free. I'm remembering back, in my social studies days where they were, like in communist Russia, yeah, you could, they paid for your college and your higher education, but you started taking tests when you were like in grade school, junior high. And
Yep.
if you didn't do well, you were basically, okay, you're going off
Back-
to home ice.
okay.
And
Yeah, right
then,
around the seventh grade.
Think back to the 1980s, and then West Germany. Okay, their school system was doing that too. You took tests and decided, did you go to the college level course schools, or did you go to a trade school, become something, a plumber or pipe fitter or whatever the case may be? Because they could now back in 84, 87. West Germany had democratic socialism, and that's what they did. They decided, okay, you took these tests and you decided which way you were going for further education.
I guess where I was
Yeah.
going is if these young kids think, oh, Mr. Sanders, he got in there, free college, I'm going to go study women's studies. No. You're going to study what you're told to study.
Yeah, they'll weed you out through a series of tests. Okay?
You know,
And
it's
the
not
same
all-
way with athletics. If you're good at a particular athletic sport, if you want to call it that, you will be given better food. Your parents will be given better food. You
Better
will have-
housing.
Yeah, better housing. You would be getting part of the gravy because they want to use you for publicity of how well our system is better than
Whatever.
somebody else's called the United States. But we may not be the United States in another few years with the way they're trying to mess with our basic documents.
Yeah, well, going along those lines, there's a video posted. I posted on Facebook. Tell me this guy wrote a book, and he's talking about Europe. Europe has changed so much, and Europeans are not fighting the change. They're going along with their politicians. And he's saying it won't be too many years. I forget exactly, 20 years maybe, that Europe won't be Europe. It'll be not. It'll just be blurred lines. It'll be, it'll be more Islamic, and more problems than the people today know what to deal with. It just will be terrible. It'll be the best socialism.
Has anybody ever read or listened to the documentation on TV? I think it was the History Channel on Notre Dame and his
Yeah.
predictions.
Yeah.
And one of them was that one of his prediction was that there would be a savior of some sort come to save the world after several years of bloody war, and he will be supposedly come from the Middle East wearing a blue turban.
I have a theory about that.
And fire away, Gridley.
Well, if you think about, if you go back to bashing the UN, we haven't talked about them in a while. What do the UN soldiers with their blue Kevlars look like? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And blue berets, that's what the UN.
Aim just below the blue.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Blue sticks out, makes such a wonderful target.
Yeah.
And that, it just makes such a wonderful target. If somebody's wearing one of them,
Yeah, could they talk about maybe the military leader of the NATO army? Or I'm sorry, the UN army, excuse me.
yeah, well,
UN army.
that's what some of the plans that I have seen over the years for the occupation of this country calls for UN troops from different countries to be stationed in different states, and they've already got the plans there on what they want to do and how they're going to do it. It's just getting there, getting the crisis created to make it go there. You in the back seat of the.
And I know where the center of operations are going to be. Dollar General stores.
Yeah.
There's underground tunnels between all the Dollar General stores. I know it. I saw it on the internet machine. that and Chinese restaurants. I mean, geez, they pop up everywhere. I saw a meme on the internet the other day where, picture of the landscape of Mars. 3 days after America lands, there was a Dollar General store superimposed.
Yeah, I
Made me
saw
laugh.
And Walmart not far behind.
Yeah.
Far behind.
Just throw that on. making light of a weird situation.
The chat room was talking about the crane that failed. It must have been down, yeah, there was a building under construction, remodeling down in New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans, yes.
And part of it collapsed. The two cranes were there. They were damaged, and they were afraid that they might fall. Apparently, one of them must have come down. Yeah, now it's so. It shows you the good engineering that comes out of our colleges.
Well, I think there's still at least one. I don't know. They found out one of the person that was missing.
It's like a Hard Rock hotel or something.
Yeah, Hard Rock.
Like
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that was the name of Hard Rock.
Yeah.
So,
Careful if you eat the green ones. You know what happens when you eat the green ones.
Red one or blue one?
does that mean you get rid of your ED?
No, yeah, the green one's supposed to make you horny.
Oh, well, then give me
No,
some.
wait a minute.
Give me a crap
red,
food.
red or blue? If we eat both, we'll cancel each other out.
Just whatever suits your gender tonight.
No, my gender.
My idiot friend Biff, every year for his company Christmas party, brings in a bag of Skittles and a bag of M&Ms and mixes them together in the same bowl. He's not very well liked some days.
Well, I guess not.
Skittles. Anyway. I was going with something and I completely gone.
Oh, shit.
Uh,
that?
so-
UN, Blue Turban.
Oh, yeah, UN and Blue Turban. Did you see who got appointed to the head of the Human Rights Commission of the UN?
No, sir.
Saudi Arabia, I think.
Nope.
Oh, no.
Who's the dictator down in Venezuela?
Oh, not him.
Yes. Yes, him.
Maduro? Is that his name?
I don't know what his name is. I saw it, I was going to print it out, and I said, no, I don't want to give that back.
The guy who caused confiscation of the guns of his civilian population there, and now is...
Yep. Is now going to be the head of the Human Rights Commission in the U of N.
Oh, Lord. What do they think?
Well,
They weren't.
they weren't.
There's no logical thought process.
Unless, of course, they're figuring on something else coming up to where his knack at getting the guns away from his people is going to come in handy. Anyway, you know,
I know we talk about gun confiscation. People are going to die on both sides.
No.
Yes.
No way. I'm going to turn mine in. They're bad. Guns are bad, okay?
no, the guns aren't bad. It's the person operating it's bad. And so, you bad if you go out and shoot somebody, or or these days they pin a medal on you.
Well, if you're a cop, you're probably getting medal.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I think it was, Dallas, Fort Worth? I can't remember. Oh, sheriff deputy was responding to an alarm call. And you don't see the entire video from his chest camera, but it's around midnight, and he's already fired a shot into the house, hitting the homeowner.
Oh yeah, I saw
Who
that.
came out, he opened the door with a gun in hand. The officer just shot him. Twice, I think it was. And he's yelling at the guy, why'd you bring it? It's midnight, and then he responds to the alarm call, and we don't have an alarm system.
It's wrong house.
Well, he gave the address, and he goes, that's my house, but we don't have an alarm system. So somebody, somewhere, goofed up, perhaps intentionally? I don't know.
Yeah, you never know when some of these things go on. If it was a goof up, say from 911 to dispatchers, or if that was an excuse for somebody to carry out something under the guise of making an arrest. Oh, we got the wrong house. That happens. We all know that happens. It happens all the time. Well, it does happen all the time, but
I just know, like, somebody starts knocking on my door.
was that a guy or was that the girl?
It was the guy. I said,
Yeah, that's right. It was a guy coming.
but something, or it was at her house, or her, I'd be like, wait a minute, it's a guy that got shot.
Yeah.
Once in the groin, I forget the other or something. And when it was me knocking on my door at 12 o'clock, midnight, or 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, guess who's going to, be down here with a gun in hand?
And I also guarantee I'll answer the door naked, so I'm not sure what's more horrifying, me naked or me with a gun.
Well, if you open the door and flash real fast, it'll be, oh, then you go bang, bang, bang.
Or you can just bend over and give them a bright moonshine, double moonshine.
Naked. And that's a waterfall site. That's Braveheart.
Yeah.
I just wanted to. It says Tulsi Gabbard declares war on Hillary Clinton and Democrat Party establishment. So saith Breitbart.
About time somebody does that. Anyway, I was going to do this one, but then I decided to do this one.
Well, you do that veteran story, and I'll do that veteran story.
Oh, you got a veteran story?
I know, well, you start with that one, I'll do this one.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's some of the stuff I pulled up today over there.
Eddie, you gave me something to look at, and I just pulled it out there.
Okay. Hey, I don't know. I just work here, and that's only part-time.
You know what? I work part-time, too. Where's my pay and benefits? Okay.
And here's your benefit.
Wow. I know I am.
Okay. I'll get serious here for a minute. A decorated U.S. Marine veteran of the Iraq War faces deportation to his native El Salvador after struggling with post-traumatic stress syndrome caused alcohol and domestic violent trouble. He is a soldier who put his life on the line to defend his country. The mother of Jose Segovia Bentazine. However you pronounce it, I'm sorry. If I moited it, I'm sorry. 38 told the NBC News, but when he returned from the war, he came back with problems. Mr. Alphabet left El Salvador at 3 years old, served in the U.S. Marine Corps from 1999 to 2004. That's 5 years, folks. Deploying to Iraq and receiving multiple awards for his service, according to the report. He even has a tattoo of the Statue of Liberty on his ribcage per NBC. His legal immigration status has been revoked after years of prison for drugs and domestic violence-related convictions.
Wait, so he wasn't a U.S. citizen?
His immigration status, whatever. He was here legally.
Okay.
But his legal immigration status has been revoked.
So he was not an American citizen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, the domestic violence-related conviction. And he was due to be deported, immigration authorities told NBC, that's National Biscuit Company, News. Mr. Elliott was taken off the plane bound for El Salvador and is now being detained in Arizona, according to the report. The veteran's family is seeking a pardon from California Governor Gavin Newsom, arguing his crime should have been charged as misdemeanors instead of felonies, according to the attorney, Thomas Sanchez. So, when we looked into the case, and we said if we can get a pardon for him for aggravated felonies, he should have been misdemeanors, which should have been misdemeanors in the first place, then he can become a citizen, Sanchez told NBC News. The attorney claimed the assault with a deadly weapon was merely a screwdriver in his pocket he did not use. Ah, screw you. Oh, I even got the driver to do it. If he would have been, if he would have had the resources to have legal representation back then, he would not be facing this right now. Green Card Veterans President Carlos Luna told NBC News. Even further, if he would have had the medical resources available that he needed, then he may not have ever ended up in a courtroom. Now, I think, it's my personal opinion, the guy volunteered for the Marine Corps. He served 5 years in the Marine Corps with apparently a distinguished service in Iraq, and come back up mentally messed up, which happens to a lot of veterans. And once that has been established that he has been, these alcoholic and domestic violence things should have been a tip for the authorities to send him to a hospital, VA hospital if nothing else, to get the psychological treatment that he needs to overcome his post-PSD. I believe with his service, even though he's got these charges against him, he should have been made a U.S. citizen for serving for 5 years. Okay?
Okay, when I went to Iraq in 04 or 05, one of the folks in my unit was Latino. And he was not a U.S. citizen. However, there was a means to make him and many others into American citizens while they were in Iraq. And guess what? We got him in that program. Okay, he was put in that program, and before he left Iraq, he was sworn in. Now,
He was what?
he was sworn in as a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
Okay, he became bona fide U.S. citizen. Okay, before he came back stateside at the end of the tour. I don't know what the Marine Corps did. They might have thought he was, we're too busy to do that. I don't know. No, but
Well, this may have happened before that program started. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It was started before we got there. We found out when we were there. We got him in, and like a bunch of other ones too. That other people used, and they got in out again. I don't know if it existed before then. I just found out about it. If it existed prior to then many of his unit did not know.
Yeah. Well, the thing of it is, we owe this man because he fought for our country, whether we were there for the right reasons or the wrong reasons. The fact that he went, okay, well, I agree with you, but I'm leaving the door open for those who might criticize what I'm having to say. But he has suffered, obviously, some traumatic incidences that has affected his mind. We owe him as a veteran the psychological help that we can give him to bring him back down so that he is not dependent on alcohol and is not violent. Probably gets violent when he gets a little bit drunk. And so it's hard to say because they didn't say that. But he is owed a debt, and they're trying to avoid taking care of it. Whether he gets a pardon or not from the governor of Arizona for those crimes, or whether or not he gets his citizenship, which I think he should get if they've offered that program to other people that have served in the country, in the military, that it should go back to those who have served that were there before that. They should be given their citizenship. And but we're letting this man down, and all I can say is I hope his attorney gets everything all turned around so he doesn't have to leave the country.
Be nice.
Be nice. Be nice if he can get the court to order him to a
As a
VA
veteran,
facility
he should be
to have-
able to get VA
yeah.
health, or,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They should be able to get VA health care and mental counseling. And so, that's my personal opinion. We owe this guy because he went to fight for us. Okay? And anybody that goes to fight for this country, we owe them a debt. And they should be taken care of. Not because they're mercenaries, because they're not mercenaries. They are people who want to come to this country and they're willing to show how much they respect or want to be here, that they are willing to put their life on the line to do that, which is much more than I can say about some of the regular citizens in this country. Okay? Anyway, you're over there in the peanut gallery, 14th row.
It goes along with the whole veterans and mental instability. On average, 22 veterans a day commit suicide.
Because they come
Look out
back.
for your buddies.
Yeah, they come back from a situation and it messes them up, and it sort of seems like it slides through the crack of medical care. I don't know if it's they don't want to, the government doesn't want to admit to the fact that this is messing up the minds or what. It's like the denial of Agent Orange in Vietnam. It's not cancer, so don't hurt
There's
nobody.
things coming out now, but the various vaccines we received in the military that were actually really helpful for us to get in the first place.
Yeah.
Plus, a lot of units were stressed out because, day in, day out, hours on end, doing combat patrols. And a lot of that in the book I borrowed, okay, it talks about in World War II, there was, this unit had to be withdrawn because they were just worn out. Battle fatigue, combat fatigue. It's set in. They had to pull on.
World War II, they called it combat fatigue.
They had to pull them out just to give them a chance to, relax, unwind, and kind of regain their strength. I mean, personally and mentally, physically. And that's not covered very much in a lot of other books. It happens.
Since we're talking about this, you want to do that other story?
I was going to act like I do that.
Well, Mr. T, why don't you be a nice guy
I'll keep my mouth shut.
and do that so
I don't get derailed.
that guy that's in the 14th row of the peanut gallery will keep his hands down.
At least he doesn't run around naked.
I'm gonna run around naked. Show you my butt.
Paint orange. Okay, here's another veteran story. Not a good one. U.S. veterans' guns confiscated when waitress reports innocent conversation. This is from WorldNet Daily. There is no reason for Americans to fret over red flag laws that give sweeping gun confiscation powers to local governments, right? Question mark. After all, if you're not a criminal, what's the problem? Question mark. At least that's the general response voiced by many on the left whenever gun owners speak up. A disturbing incident in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts?
Yeah. The home of the start of the revolution. Is raising hard questions about those firearms seizure laws, especially when it comes to due process. According to LifeSet and the Martha's Vineyard Times, an 84-year-old veteran had his legally owned firearms confiscated by local police officers after a waitress misheard public conversation between him and a friend. To make matters worse, the vet was also reported fired from his position as a school crossing guard, which he used to keep busy after the death of his wife. Steve Nichols of Tisbury, which is in the Martha Vineyards area of Massachusetts, got the job as a crossing guard because he loved kids, LifeSet reported. not sure. I guess it's a newspaper. After his wife passed away, he reportedly needed something to occupy his time and his heart. And I can understand that. Now he's fighting for his fundamental rights as an American. Nichols, a grandfather of 11, was apparently sitting in his local restaurant several weeks ago when he told a friend that he was concerned a school resource officer had been leaving for coffee and other errands instead of staying at school. Let me read that again. He was talking to a friend because he was concerned that the school's resource officer was leaving for coffee and other errands instead of staying at school. So you know what he thought about his job and where he needed to be. Nichols said he was worried about someone would come in and shoot up the school while the officer was out on one of his coffee runs, the wife said. That's the part of the conversation the witness overheard, when she then reported to the police. Without being charged or convicted of a crime, this Korean War era Army veteran, I believe he was 84 years old, received a visit from officers who confiscated his personal firearms. As the Martha Vineyard Times reported, asked if he was given a letter or any paperwork for the seizure of his license, Nicole said no. He just told me to hand it over, so I took it out of my wallet and handed it to him. Now, I'm assuming in Massachusetts, like other states, you have to have some kind of firearms license in order to legally have a firearm. I'm sorry. Nichols said he's been licensed for firearms since 1958. So again, Massachusetts, one of the states that you get a firearms license of some kind in order to have a firearm. Amazingly, it all appeared to be based on a half-heard conversation that was taken out of context. And that's the problem. Nichols said the waitress made a complaint to Tisbury police about what she overheard, and on the strength of that, Police Chief Mark Salio, another officer, relieved Nichols of his crossing guard duties while he was in the midst of performing them, and subsequently drove to his house and took away his firearm license and guns, according to Martha's Vineyard Times. Nichols said he never carried his guns outside his home, and would like to have his license and guns back. But the fate of his guns may be sealed, the newspaper said. By all reports, Nichols was an upstanding member of the community. He said he worked in auxiliary roles with Tisbury Police for a staggering 6 decades, and had also been a court officer and constable. And it definitely appears that he was overheard voicing concern for school shooting, certainly not encouraging one. After outcry from community members, the veteran was allowed to return to his crossing guard duties on Monday. I'm not sure what date that is, according to Martha Vineyard Times. But there is scant information about his lawfully owned firearms will return and what process was followed to seize them in the first place. Called illegal gun confiscation. The Western Journal contacted the Tisbury Police on Tuesday to request an update on when his guns will be returned, but so far has not received a response. And I doubt seriously they'll get one anytime soon. This is exactly what the Second Amendment, why the Second Amendment exists. So the citizens do not have their homes invaded and illegal firearms seized by power-hungry bureaucrats, all based on hearsay and whispers. And I forget how many Bill of Rights your rights are confiscated when you do these red flag laws. But due process is one of them. Every liberty-loving American concerned about red flag laws needs to pay close attention to this case, because it is a disturbing reminder of what happens when fundamental rights are allowed to be casually trampled. This is something that Elizabeth Warren wants to do about our guns right too. She wants to just do away with them.
Well, did
That guy, he had a firearm license in 1958. Massachusetts has gone that.
how old did that story say it was?
He was 84. But he had a firearms license.
By what stretch of imagination does anybody figure an 84-year-old guy is going to go on a berserk on a shooting streak this many years after being in a war? It shows you the dumbness of the people, that they can't think, and it also shows you the dumbness and the danger of these so-called red flag laws, regardless of what state you're in. I got to make a comment about something on the chat room that came up. Bob, I'm just waiting for my chance to harvest my Soylent Green. Soylent Green is made from people.
Yeah, Charles Destin saw the movie many years ago.
Yep. So, anyhow, there's getting back to that 84-year-old veteran. I know the lady because she thought she was doing good, but she should have checked out her.
Well, she could
process
easily
before
ask.
She actually
She
heard.
could ask him, "What are you guys talking about? What's wrong with her school resource officer?" No, she jumped on it. Made it quick, like most people do. Heard something, had a context. And just ran with it. Well, Lassie Media does the same thing. Well, look at ABC News. They need some facts about the Syria invasion, by Turks, and
Oh yeah.
they put that video from Knob Creek from like a couple of
Yeah.
years ago.
No, yeah.
Oh, you were probably down there when they shot the fucker. Sorry.
I don't know how long ago it was, but we did do that when I was down there.
I saw the headline. I'm saying what, and I looked at the picture that was on the headline, and you can see all the fire and stuff and tracer rounds, and you see all the people. You see these white dots, in the bottom part of the picture. Okay, flashlights. Like, what are they? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty silly.
So it shows you how stupid they think the American people are. That you show something blowing up. Oh my God! The Turks did that over in Syria. Well, our gas prices are going to go up. They give you the fake news. But I saw that. I saw that email, or not email, but story.
I sent you.
Yeah, we didn't use it, but the story you sent me hasn't come through yet. I had another guy, I was talking to him today, and he was showing me the same thing, and he sent it to me, it hadn't come through. So I don't know if I'm being edited,
Well, I probably am, because I saw something yesterday about Antifa. I mentioned last week about their protests in L.A. and New York City today, and I haven't seen any protests about either one location, but I saw in Pittsburgh, North Carolina, they got out of control and started beating up elderly people and running out Bibles. But the article had listed in there the follow-on dates where Antifa was going to protest in various cities throughout the United States. And it talked about Antifa, how bad, how it related to the communist Antifa back in Germany and all this stuff. And I forwarded that to a number of people. But I was thinking, this morning, I thought, wait a minute, I should have written down the dates. Okay, where they're going to be for all these protests, all these rioting and stuff. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, well, once it gets out there and somebody sees it, click, censors take over.
I mean, it didn't appear on my timeline. It wasn't there. It was gone. And couldn't you find it, like, where did, it's gone, just gone. And one of my daughters, we were Facebook friends, she didn't get it, because somewhere along the line it just vanished. So did the story about, on November the 4th, Antifa, well, the propaganda is on November the 4th, millions of Antifa members will be going out about guillotining, beheading, whatever, the heads of Trump supporters and fascists and everybody else. They're going to behead them, and I think they said it like 2 years ago. They're going to do the same thing.
Yeah. Hey, you little Antifa bastards! I'm a Trump supporter. You want to come out and try and behead me? I have nothing to do that particular night. Sounds like it might be exciting. Give my trigger finger some exercise.
The size of your noggin would take them all day.
That's all right. They probably won't kill me. I will probably die of a cramped trigger finger.
Ooh.
Because I can't pull the trigger anymore.
Like, yeah, it's just like censorship. That story disappeared too. I had no idea. You know, it wasn't on my timeline. It's gone. Gone. But getting back to this story, again, it just shows how ridiculous this is going to get, how out of control it's going to get, and people don't understand. You know, each one of us have constitutional rights, and there are laws backing up. Besides the Constitution, you know, you're allowed, you know, due process. Well, this doesn't do you any good. This is, you know, you're guilty until proven innocent. And even then, you might not be able to prove your innocence.
Somebody said that he heard you while he was in the shitter, fourth toilet down, heard you say something about damn gun, and so they thought maybe you were getting ready to shoot the place up. So they ran to the authorities, and they come and they take your gun, and then you, like you said, you have to go to court to prove that you were just upset because something happened that you didn't want to happen in the toilet, and cost you thousands of dollars to get your gun back if they even give it back to you.
Yeah.
And so once they take it, it'll probably end up down in Mexico. It's going to a good cause. The Mexican drug cartels. Yeah.
Oh, you know, give them to the, along like the surgeons going across the border here. And raise holy terror in the United States with these.
Well, they don't have to give them to them. They can, by the way, with all our strict gun laws, they can go in and say they're not a citizen of the United States, but they have no criminal record. If it's, not background check.
I saw some name. Remember the guy who shot up that church in Texas, killed 22 people or something like that?
Yeah.
He was an Air Force veteran. Apparently his driver's license was from Colorado. This guy's attorney for somebody, Jim Merritt. Somebody said the store he bought it from, you know, the Air Force screwed up because they had like 5 or 6 chances to put on file. This guy should never have a gun.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They didn't have it. Now they're saying the gun store should be sued for selling that weapon because he was from Colorado and was therefore it was illegal for him to buy an AR-15. Well, because he's from Colorado.
Well, that depends. It might be a state law he might have been in violation of, but on federal law, you can buy a weapon as long as the state is contingent to your state. Okay? You can buy a weapon over, like here, we got Ohio. We basically got, of course, you got the communist state of New York, so you ain't going to buy nothing up there. But over in Ohio, you can buy a gun over there. In Ohio, because it's a contingent state.
Yeah.
The same way with the Ohioans can come over here. They can buy a gun here. Okay, because it's a contingent state to them. But the background checks have to be run either way.
And it was.
And nothing
And they
come
got
back.
nothing
So
done.
whose fault is that? If you're going to sue somebody, sue the Air Force, because they didn't do their job. Sue the person that didn't do their job.
4 minutes
For what?
till the top of the hour.
To the top of the hour?
Oh.
Oh. Well, at the top of the hour, we'll take a rest the voice break. There won't be anything going on because I haven't figured out how to make that stuff work. I'm going to have to, after I get some things done in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have to come down here and during the middle of the day and try and figure out how to make that program for the music work. So, okay folks, when we come back, I will read off the list of gun shows. I picked up a bunch of more, but they're not until after the first of the year, so Well, no, there is one that's coming up in November, but I got it buried in my stuff. I didn't unload my car yet. I didn't get home as soon as I thought I would. So, anyway, we'll be back in approximately 5 minutes or so. We need a voice break. So, see you in the queue.
What's going on in the chat room there? We're back. I think.
Come on, get in there.
Oh.
Okay, we's are back. We're sorry, we got carried away there about some stuff. I was reading or watching some of these. Okay, it says, I see Daryl's talking now, but I am just getting occasional crackles on the line. Everyone else got sound from the show. Well, I can't figure out why you would just get sound. We had it turned off there for a few minutes so we could rest our voice. I don't know if it did any good, but anyway. So anyhow, we're back, and Scotty had to leave, so all you guys out there are saying goodbye. I gotta make an announcement and read the gun shows before I forget. The reason Bones isn't here, he went to the town yesterday to buy himself a new pair of shoes. And somehow or other he got talking to one of the sales ladies, and he's out on a hot date. So, which is good, because basically this kid doesn't have much of a social life. Too much evening playing with the Xbox and that. We'll break him of that yet, even if we had to break his fingers. Okay. We're going to start with the gun shows here that I have, and then we'll get back to our regular bullshit. October the 26th and 7th, which is next weekend, by the way. For you, Jack, over there, it's about 50 miles from here, and probably that. Come on down. Ashtabula County Fairgrounds, Jefferson, Ohio. Okay, October the 26th and 27th. I will be there. I've got tables. Then, Yankee Lake Ballroom over in Brookfield, Ohio. It's 1814 State Route 7. That's November 9th and 10th. I get a break. Well-deserved break. Then, Hermitage, PA, Hickory Post v. Veterans of Foreign Wars, U.S. Route 62, east of PA 18, November the 16th and 17th.
East by 2 miles. For west of Mercerboro by 9.
And then in December we have Harbor Creek, which is up on Route 20, east of Erie. Saturday the 14th and 15th. Again, that's Saturday, December the 14th and 15th. Then I get another break and we start over again at Conneaut Lake Sportsman's Club on January the 25th and 26th. I will give more dates about that. And then I have another one coming up in Chapmanville on February 1st and 2nd. And then one coming up in Cherry Tree in April, the weekend after Easter. I don't have the flyer in front of me. I got them, but I haven't brought any down. They're still locked up in the car. So that takes care of that for the gunny shows. So what you got there, Mr. T?
Well, this article here, it says, city demands homeowner buy $60,000 worth of sidewalks nowhere. WorldNet Daily. All that she wanted to do was to add a bedroom and bathroom to a small home that she's occupied for 4 years. But to do that, the city has demanded Linda Cameron build $60,000 worth of sidewalks nowhere and other improvements to a nearby street. The dispute has moved to federal court where Linda Cameron is defending her property rights. No one should have to pay $60,000 fee just to add a second bedroom and bathroom, said Paul Avalar, an attorney for the Institute at the Institute for Justice. The city is holding Linda's property. The city is holding Linda's property hostage until she can pay the ransom to improve the city street, which is not her street. And according to IJ, the Institute for Justice, say Cameron is a victim of impact fees meant to recoup the impact development has on public infrastructure. For instance, if a developer wants to build a 100-home subdivision, a city or county could recoup the cost of installing sewer lines or widening adjoining roads to accommodate an increase in traffic. The Institute for Justice said, by law, impact fees can only be charged when there is an actual impact on public infrastructure. Adding a second bedroom to a small house will have absolutely no impact on Richland's street or sidewalks. Let me see what. Oh, this must be. It actually didn't say what state this is. Richland. Anyway, according to the Institute of Justice, a local builder helped Cameron develop a plan to renovate her one-bedroom, one-bath home. The project moved along until the city threw her a curve. Richland's Public Works Department said she needed to renovate the public street behind her property, an estimated cost of $60,000, before it would issue a building permit. That meant widening 400 feet of street, building curbs and gutters, and adding sidewalks that don't connect to any other sidewalk. She'd be effectively building sidewalks to nowhere. The complaint in U.S. District Court in Eastern Washington sees the court order holding the city from applying any further unconstitutional conditions on Cameron's plans. It also seeks lawyers' fees and $1 in damage. The sole reason the city denial of this permit is her failure to comply with its condition. With its condition that she cannot make renovations to her home unless she also pays for unrelated renovations to the city's property. A street that her home renovation will not impact, the complaint says. If Fowler Street is suffering from some deficiency, that deficiency pre-exists Linda's planned home renovation and has nothing to do with Linda's planned home renovation. The complaint alleges a violation of both the U.S. and state constitutions. The Institute of Justice says the impact fee abuse is a nationwide problem. The U.S. Government Accounting Office estimates that 40% of counties and 60% of communities with a population over $25,000 impose such impact fees. Some municipalities have even forced property owners to improve the land far from their own property to supposedly offset the impacts. In cases like Linda show that cities are not targeting just big developers. Institute Justice Attorney Patrick Giacomoco said Richland, Washington, arbitrary impact fee policy treats ordinary homeowners like Linda and others as if they are major developers, but of course that's not the case. Rather than encouraging improvements by imposing outrageously high fees on homeowners, Richland's policy strongly discourages property owners from improving homes in the city. Now, in the county I live in, I won't mention which county it is, the county commissioners are they're hiring somebody, an outside firm, I think it's $300,000, to review all the properties within the county. And those properties that had improvements made to them, they're going to increase the property taxes on them, which I believe actually is wrong. But in my case, I won't go into details, but I'm trying to build a barn separate from my in-laws' barn. I've had so many problems with our township people, it's been unreal. 4 weeks. 9 weeks. 9 weeks. No one could figure out what kind of permit fee I had to pay for such a building. A question by the representative developer, the people that are going to build me the barn, he went back to the township again and said, look, we need the answer. Well, they first had to prove that I was in the agricultural zone. And, of course, I had shown the developer, the builder, to be, hey, here's a map of the township, and this is where we are. See, it's listed A1, agriculture. Yeah, I'm there. But they had to come out and prove themselves that, yeah, their map agreed, right, I said, that, okay, we're in agriculture zone. Then, one person said, well, wait a minute, we have to charge you $200 for a building permit. And I figured on the first, I figured how much amount, and then like $5 or $10 for each, whatever amount after that. And, which is, that came out to several $1,000s. And one guy said, well, wait a minute, no, that's residential. He's in agricultural zone. We don't permit buildings in agricultural zones. So it took them, again, weeks and weeks and weeks to figure out, finally, that because I'm building a barn on a pre-existing farm in an agricultural zone, I don't need a building permit, and I don't have to pay them anything. And these people have been they're not elected, they're appointed, I think. They've been running around
patronage.
I know. If they're elected, I'm gonna toss them out if I get a chance. But they've been in that job for years. They finally they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, well, they didn't.
But it's cost my wife and I, our family.
They don't have to because they get people to come in and do the survey for them. Okay.
Well, I admit, okay, if you have a sewage issue, they can have a consultant who's on, I don't know, retainer or something. Okay, fine. But you guys, it's not that hard to do the building permits. Okay, there's various, commercial and residential and whatnot. But agricultural zone, in fact, I went through the township ordinance, and nothing was said about building a barn. What's it cost? Is there a fee? Permit? Nothing in there whatsoever.
Yeah, they have county assessors here in Crawford County, but same way with down in Venango, I imagine there's an assessor's office, and he's supposed to be the one that comes and inspects your property to assess it for the taxes.
Well, that's what they're going to do in my county.
But they're going to hire, in your case, they're going to hire somebody.
They're
already paying somebody that's supposed to do that.
I know
but they're going to spend $300,000.
And I tell you, the comments on Facebook have been like, what?
Yeah. Well, they need to the people need to go to the county meetings and tell the commissioners to take it and stick it. Stick it where the sun
I've been to a township meeting in years. I probably should start attending, but it's cost us. You put us too much behind schedule even to get a barn built. Okay, now looking at maybe in this month, first part of November. I think about 2 weeks to put it up. But we lost time because the idiots township building couldn't figure out where we were exactly, where we were agriculture or something else. What permit, if any, we needed to buy and what the cost would be. And actually one guy said, well, you're agriculture, we don't mess with agriculture. Why didn't you guys say that months ago?
Well,
anyway, I can feel for this lady what she's going through because what they were going to charge us originally, nothing near what they're going to ask for this lady.
Well, the thing of it is, they're telling her she has to make improvements on the road that isn't her property isn't fine.
Which is ludicrous.
Okay. Somebody needs to put a fire under somebody's axe and wake them up because that is absolutely ridiculous. She wants to put a bedroom
in the bathroom.
And
it's not going to impact the road at all.
Yeah.
Or any road.
That has nothing to do with any traffic. She's not opening up a public toilet, okay? And she's not opening up a public sleeping place. She just
needs she rents it out.
Yeah. She just needs some more room for her house. And
let me guess.
This bit of paying for new sidewalks,
gutters,
gutters, just like, that's building a friggin' road. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
That should be taken care of
that's $60,000. okay, for widening 400 feet worth of street, building curbs, gutters, and adding sidewalks that don't connect to any other sidewalk.
Yeah. Whoever wrote that ordinance and is trying to force that is a cotton-picking friggin' moron, an idiot, and I don't know how he got his job unless he was somebody anyway.
But the article does not state what state this is in. But I'm going to feel it actually is Washington State.
Yeah, I think it was.
So Richland, and it says that a complaint in U.S. District Court in Eastern Washington. So I'm thinking of Washington State, and of course they are so liberal and off the.
Well, that's not even liberal. That's stupidity.
Well, that yeah.
Okay. So this, and the sad part of it is, folks, this is all coming your way, our way.
I've been here for a while.
And the only way you're going to stop it is we need to start calling our Congress and tell them, hey, we want our town hall meetings back. We don't want no conference call. We want a face-to-face town hall meeting. If you don't come to town every 3 months so we can talk to you, we're going to vote your ass out and put somebody else in.
The county I live in, the major city, and it's encouraging people to fix up their homes.
Yeah, because once they do that, then they can tax them
Yeah,
more.
and now it will give you a tax credit, okay? But now the county commissioners are going to hire this consultant to come in and do the assessment of everybody's property.
You put in about $3,000 of remodeling work, they're going to come in and assess your property about $12,000 more.
Something.
Okay. It's usually about 3 to 1. For every dollar you spend for material, they raise the value of your house by about $3 or $4, depending on where you're at. But I have a road out here, and my property goes up to it, and I put in a drain pipe. The township said if you pay for the pipe, we'll put it in for you, and we'll grade it and smooth it out for you, okay? Which they did. They did a wonderful job on it, okay? All I had to do was pay for the pipe. That's when I had money back then. And it made it easier for me to mow because I didn't have this terrific bank to tip one side or the other, which meant I couldn't use the riding mower. I had to use a push mower. Well, with my back condition, I was told a long time ago not to push stuff because my back was so bad. But this bit of coming in, if I wanted to add on to my house, they told me, well, I have to pay $60,000 to put a sidewalk and curbs in along this road. There will be war.
Well, you have curbs from your property line to your property line, and nobody else has any curb or sidewalk or anything else that matter.
Now, if I had the money and I wanted to make that improvement, I would. But since there's no sidewalks for 2 miles, 20 miles in either direction there, I'm not going to put no sidewalk in. People can walk on the road, and people that are driving just have to be careful. Quit playing with your damn cell phone and watch what you're doing.
Well, the problem I've encountered here living at night is people walking on the side of the road without a flashlight in dark clothes.
Yeah, everything that we've been taught to do. Wear light-colored clothes, carry a flashlight, have reflector tape on your feet, something so that when you're walking, they can get the reflection on it. I mean, after all, the stuff that the shirts and the jackets that people work for PennDOT reflect light.
Yep.
Okay. Fire departments.
Well, even now the contractors, telephone company,
Yeah.
they're getting better vests, more reflective vests.
Yeah. The fire departments on their bunker coats and pants have fluorescent tape. I'll call it tape. It's not really tape. It's material sewn to it so that they can be seen
at night.
So if these people are doing that and they're setting an example, don't you think you ought to do that? I know some hardcore person would say, well, that's my choice. not to wear that at night if I do. Well, that's right.
Yeah.
That's your choice. But I don't want to hear it's your choice when somebody runs over you and breaks your legs,
Didn't see
Okay.
you. Yeah.
and then you want to turn around and sue them. Sorry. You brought it on yourself, and that's the problem. Nobody is responsible for what they do. It's always somebody else's fault.
It's not like
Something happened.
these folks here in Richland, Washington.
You know, they're a bunch of idiots in office. How they got there, don't know. But they obviously have no common sense. You know, and looking at ways to make improvements that, well, this won't cost us anything because she's going to pay for it.
Now, if there was a housing project being put in on a piece of property that's near hers, and there would be increased traffic on the road, then that developer, along with the authorities, the sewer authority, the water authority, and whatever other authority, should bear the responsibility of paying for sewer extension, water extension.
Well, as
Because
far as
they-
I know, that's how it works in most places,
It does.
either in PA and Ohio.
Yeah, and then you turn around and you charge them a monthly fee. Okay, you pay for the shit to be put in, and then you charge you a fee for what you just paid for to do. Okay, for example, we don't have a gas line out here. We don't have a sewer line. They were talking about bringing a sewer up here, because the end of it's down here about half a mile from here. At that time, they wanted $75 a foot from me to pay for this sewer line to run across my property. $75 a foot. And then, every month, I would have to pay an appropriate fee based on what they figure my sewerage was. I'm going to say it's probably $100 a month. Okay? And I went to them and I said, look, I don't need the sewage. I got a septic system. I got a good well. I got my own water. So I don't need. And they said, well,
Either.
they said,
Yeah.
well, if we come across your property, then you're going to have to pay for that, and you're going to have to do mandatory hookup, which is another $5,000. And I said, well, it's like this, guys. The minute that dozer sits on my property, somebody's going to get shot. I said, I may go to jail, I don't care, but somebody's going to get shot. And you have to go to these different meetings, and you have to be forceful. Be polite, don't get angry and yell, just say your piece. And that works, but it takes a whole community or a bunch of people to get together and do that. One person going in and speaking out don't mean nothing to them. But you got a whole room full, 50, 60, 70 people, especially when the room can only hold 20, okay? That will make an impression on them. And then if they go ahead and go through with what they're talking about, then you vote them out. Just plain vote them out of office.
Well, I know. My township you were going to talk about. They were putting in. They're redoing an area of land, making it a business park. They're going to put in sewer, water, and everybody along the route had to comply with them digging this stuff up, and digging and putting it in, and you will hook up. Okay. I'm at a spot now. Okay, they can't put a line in front of my house because it's too close to the road as it is. They're gonna dig up. They got to cut down a number of trees just to put it in. And I have a nice water well, and I have septic, and haven't had a problem with either one of them other than the pump went out last year.
Well,
Replaced. But anyway,
another thing that you can do if they come along and do that, of course they're going to force you to pay, but if they come along and force you to hook up, don't pay the monthly bill. They're going to shut it off. Oh, well, gee, I didn't have it before you come along. Gee, shut it off. Okay? I got the water.
I mean, I don't know if they're going to actually, being an agriculture area, I don't think they're going to actually.
Well, they
do
generally
that.
don't. See, I think the thing that held it up here was this side of the road is residential. That side of the road is agricultural. And I think that's what put a stop to it here. That and the fact that there was a few angry voices down there at the township meeting. And
Well,
so that's what happens when you set up an authority. Okay, it's not answerable to anybody. Okay. We have the water authority that used to have, Westmead had their own sewage authority. They merged with the Meadville Sewer Authority, okay? And
Well, I gotta be accountable to somebody.
so, when they did run the sewer here, the people along Franklin Pike and Stauffer Road, well, there wasn't anybody along Stauffer Road until they put the sewer in, and they broke up that piece of land.
Encouraged people.
$22,000 or $28,000 for a piece of land down there after the sewer came in to build a house, and it was like a 3/4 acre plot, I think. $22,000 or $28,000. And that. So
We my wife and I were going to see an Amish guy to come out and do our horses because we couldn't get a hold of the other guy who come out. And on the way we saw this for sale sign. And we thought it was property that belonged to somebody we knew, but actually not. But it was I'm trying to think. For 48 plus acres. Mostly landlocked property. The cost was going to be, the selling price was for $199,900. It was $4,000 an acre. The going rate, and then I looked around and I actually got on the county's website and looked at the plat lines and stuff for other people's property. Not even close to being worth $4,000 an acre.
well, yeah, but that's once they put the sewer on there, and I've also heard.
Well, this is agriculture area, but I'm saying a different township. But this guy has he bought property years ago. It's basically landlocked. He has a separate acre plus here for right of way. He's got to go on another person's property to access the rest of his property. Another 47 acres thereabouts, and that whole thing is was $4,000. He wants to sell for almost $4,000 an acre. $199,900. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's all trees for the most part, and it's old roadbed. And it hasn't been using the road for as long as let's see, probably not since 1976. I think.
So you're talking.
5.
You're talking.
Even it was a dirt road because originally the original road went from the road I live on from Rumpy across to a road west of me, and then 4-lane highway was put in and cut that off. So that farm was it fell in disrepair. It used to be we hunted there until this guy bought it years ago. You could hunt there because really nobody owned it, the township. There was the silo, the remains of the house, the chicken coop, something else, and an old Ford. Okay. That probably was around 1930 to 40s, looks like. How long it's been there, but that farm was long as abandoned. Okay, so what was plowed field, nothing but trees.
Yeah, it's grown
so
up.
This guy owns it now. He leased it out for hunting. Okay, now he wants to sell it. Because you really can't do anything with it. You can't. The state will not let you allow access right to the interstate.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
one of the selling points that they use for pushing these things through, like the sewer and the water, it'll increase your property value.
And improve your quality of life.
Yeah, and improve your quality of life.
Well, guess what? I'm fine with my quality of life.
It's going to increase going to increase my property value. Does that mean you're going to increase my property tax because my property value went up $20,000 or $30,000?
No, really? Yes.
No, we wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you would do that. Yeah.
I got to explain something here. Since we're talking about sewers and water, over in the Franklin Pike, which is 400 yards behind me here,
Yeah, I know where it is.
okay, they came through and they put the sewer line in. Didn't tie any water, didn't bring any water line up, okay? But they brought the sewer line up. And they told the people that you gotta tie into the sewer. And that, well, don't you guys usually put water in too? No, we have no plans to bring water out here. So, you pay the $4,000 or $5,000 to get hooked up plus your frontage to the sewer. What did they do? 3 years later, they come and dug it all up and put the water lines in. So the people got hit with another tremendous bill. Okay? So, like I said, this is the type of people that are running these different agencies. If they were going to dig it up to put the sewer line in, you sure as hell should have laid the water line too.
You would think.
You would think. But we're talking about
Well, how
thinking
about the
here.
6 Ps, I guess?
Yeah. Anyway, I have a story here that I'm itching to get to because it concerns teachers, the Supreme Court, and Islamic prayer.
Oh, I hated that.
What a combination. If I don't get another death threat after this, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, as a rock, I hate to hear that Islamic prayer, they call the prayer 5 times a day.
Yeah. The U.S. Supreme Court on Tuesday declined to take the case of a public school teacher who required her students to recite the Islamic conversion prayer or receive a failing grade. If you don't do it, I'm going to fail you.
Unconstitutional.
Yeah. Well, it is.
Well,
But
yeah.
the Thomas More Law Center is defending Sheila Shihai Wood, a Christian student, 11th grade at La Platte High School in La Platte, Maryland. Maryland. What the hell do you expect? Another communist state thereof. Anyway. Wood refused to deny her faith by making a written profession of the Muslim conversion prayer known as Shahada. Okay? Shahada. Makes perfect sense to me. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, Thomas More said.
Yeah.
The Fourth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled the teacher did not violate the Establishment Clause. If she didn't violate the Establishment Clause, then the Establishment Clause is faulty.
Or Islam was not religion.
Yeah. Wood also have been forced to view a series of Islamic promoting PowerPoint slides, including one casting aspirations of Christians that said most Muslims' faith is stronger than the average Christian. The teacher's actions are condemned in court by the high school's content specialist Jack Tuttle. Richard Thompson, Thomas More, chief counsel, said he's not aware of any public school which has forced a Muslim student to write the Lord's Prayer or John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Yet under the pretext of teaching history or social studies, public schools across America are promoting the religion of Islam in ways that would never have been tolerated for Christianity or any other religion, he said. It's disappointing that the Supreme Court did not take the opportunity to clarify the test which lower courts should use when ruling on Establishment Clause and free speech challenges in public schools on religion. Now, there is more to the story, but it just goes into more rhetoric. Okay, the fact of the matter is, You can't teach about Christianity in the school. You can't even say the Lord's Prayer in school. Okay, you can't even have a minute of silence for the students who want to say the Lord's Prayer. But by gum, you're going to learn the Islamic prayer. And if you don't learn it, we're going to fail you. Well, the people in the town, the parents got angry and they went to the township or school board meeting and raised holy hell. The teacher is currently on administrative leave, and
You're dirty.
so apparently it does not stick under the Establishment Clause because she's being chastised. Personally, I think she should have been removed, have her teaching certificate rescinded, and
Burned.
fired, burned at the stake for being a witch. I'm sorry. I don't know if she was a witch.
Well, I think it was last year. The Catholic school was going to take 2 Muslim girls in as students. And then the students who are protesting, they wanted the crucifix taken down on all the classroom walls that they were using. And some other demands too. I said, well, wait a minute. You agreed to go to a Catholic school that agreed to take you in. Therefore, the room is set up for Catholicism, not Islam. Keep your mouth shut and learn what you need to learn and go away later, But they want to change everything. I actually got in an argument with a Navy vet who was born and raised Muslim. I don't know how'd you get me anyway. Who said, "Oh, I'm filled with hate and all that." Well, she didn't know me. I said, "No, I'm not filled with hate. I'm just telling you." You folks come in, you want to take over. You think Islam is the best thing since sliced bread, and you want to take over. Ain't so. And she goes, "Well, you probably didn't meet many Muslims." So, oh yes, I was in Iraq. I met many Muslims. Even held a few at gunpoint. Ready to blow our heads off, and they try to do something, so yes.
And the fact of the matter is, you can't turn your back on it because it's
No.
okay to lie to achieve your objective.
Just like communism, socialism, fascism, Nazism. Oh. Imagine that.
So, anyway, I had a thought. There was something I read here. From Bob. At least they only threaten to fail them rather than behead them.
Well, that's true.
And,
She probably would have the stomach to behead anybody.
but that's coming. If we don't do something about the Muslim influx in this country, that's coming. Remember,
Go
I
visit
said-
Dearborn, Michigan, for
Yeah,
one.
Dearborn stand.
Parts of New York City.
Yeah, and what about that town up in Minnesota?
Oh, Minneapolis?
Minneapolis,
Yeah,
Minnesota. Okay? And what's surprising is that being that they're from the Middle East, how many of them are congregated in cold areas?
Well, they went where Obama sent them. Or
Yeah,
Adams sent, or whatever.
yeah. Well, he was forcing them to. He was forcing the people.
Well,
to-
Minnesota might have been a red state. He was trying to get rid of blue.
Yeah, might be. Turn it blue. See, if you mix red and blue, what do you get?
Purple, I think.
Purple? And that. So, anyway, the only way you can change things is you need to go down and in mass and be, like I said, be polite, because if you get angry and start being pushy and over boisterous, they won't listen to you. They'll just turn you off. They'll call the authorities to have you removed from the room because you're causing a disturbance. But anyway, be polite, but go in numbers, and make sure that you know what who your spokesmen are going to be. So when they go in there, they can go up and say, "I represent so and so and so and so, and this is we don't want this. We're here to tell you we don't want this forced down our throat. This is America. We have our constitutional rights. If we don't want this stuff down our throat, we can't do anything about, we can't say anything about the Lord or Christ or Christmas or anything like that in schools, then the students should not be subject to anything about Islam and the Islam conversion prayer. And that, but I don't know if it's how many schools, but there's so much going on in the school districts that all I can say is I'm glad I don't have a kid in today's school system. And I have a granddaughter.
We homeschool our 6 of ours,
Yeah.
so.
I have a granddaughter, and so far what they've been teaching in school has not rubbed off on her so far. Because Peepaw and her dad are
Very
teaching her different things.
What you learn in school, forget that.
Yeah. Okay. We're teaching her how to shoot. She wants to go hunting. I don't know how she'll react if she shoots something. Okay. But the fact that she wants to try it, So my son is.
Well, I remember.
He's going to take her next year.
Learning how to shoot. Well, actually, I knew my maternal grandfather and my uncle, my mom's brothers, hunted. So I know they had the dogs. They brought home rabbits, pheasant. So I knew this would happen when you went hunting. If you got lucky or successful, you brought back game. Okay, and no problem with that. And when I shoot, we went hunting. The first seat went out. My dad took us out. I don't think I got anything. It wasn't until I got back from Germany I got picked up hunting again. First on my in-laws' farm when I came to visit, groundhog hunting, and then once I got out of the army, active duty army anyway, started picking up the small game and deer. And I got it.
There is a thrill that when you get something, you're bringing home the meat for the table.
Yep.
And there's a certain amount of thrill in that. And
especially when you shoot it and it either drops or they just take a few steps and drops and doesn't. If it runs away, watch that shot.
Now you gotta go find it.
Yeah.
Now, my dad, I had a couple of incidents like that, but my dad always told me, when you shoot, you go to the spot where the deer were standing and you look for blood. If you find blood, you sit down for about 5 or 10 minutes. Eat a sandwich, drink some water, or if you got coffee, drink some coffee. Then you go following the trail, because once that deer has been hit, if you don't push it, it won't keep the adrenaline going to where it'll keep running on you. And
we'll lay down and die somewhere.
You may find it within 100 yards. As long as you wait. You gotta wait.
Oh, I know. I lost the first doe I ever shot, the first deer I ever shot. I lost it. I lost the blood trail and then lost the footprint because it was in mixed with other deer. And I did I remember start going around in a circle, ever increasing the width of the circle. Well, I missed it. I should have got at least twice more round. I would have found it by a wood pile. I mean, a tree top. The tree cutters. I think the year before I left in a bunch of, I just missed it. And the other year I had that ran away. I knew exactly where it went. Okay. So I wait a little bit, okay. Started going after it, I'm walking down, found a blood trail. Lost a blood trail. And I'm ticked off, it's now dark, and I can't find a blood trail anymore. I sat down on this log. Tired, I gotta take a drink, I gotta rest, I gotta think, where did the thing go? And Mauricio Canteen, took it out, drank it, and I went to put it back, and I didn't, I didn't watch it, and it just, okay, it fell down. So I reached out to find it. Oh, wait a minute, what's this? It was a deer. Apparently it jumped over a log, lay down, and died right there. So I found it completely by accident.
Well, I had a buck get away from me. I was down on the valley floor, and it was running along a ridge, not all the way to the top, but about 200 yards up. And it was running across, walking across with two doe, a doe in front and a doe behind it. So I pulled up and bam! The thing jerked. You know how they'll do when the bullet hits them, it jerked, and took off on a run, and it went into a brush pile. I saw it go in there, okay? It was dry, okay? I went up there to make sure I hit it. I picked up the blood trail, I followed to that brush, I tore that brush pile apart, it was not in there, okay? And I'm sitting there thinking, well, where the hell did it go? What happened was, while I was climbing that hill, it slid out from underneath the brush pile and went down to the valley floor. And because there was a big patch of hemlock trees down there and I was above it, it slid down off of there and under the hemlock trees. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see any sign of a slide because it was dry leaves, okay? And so I'm doing like ever widening the circle. Okay, and I was getting ready to head down. I says, you know, I'm going to go down to the bottom. And about the time I decided to go down to the bottom, I heard this voice say, hey, Dad, here's one laying here. So when that happened, I was, oh man, that kid found that. I'm going to let him have it. And at least it's not going to waste.
Yeah.
And that. But I haven't had. I think there's only 2 deer that I really ever had to trail anywhere, and I only lost one, and that was because I didn't go down to the bottom of the thing and make a fuss over the one. But I did have one try to be taken away from me my first deer.
I got one. One season I had 2 doe tags, and across the road in an area of woods. I heard a shot, didn't see anything. Now in my stand, I'm facing south, so the shot was behind me to the north. And I heard movement sometime later, and I heard a thud. I never did see anything. And then later on, as it was getting closer to the end of the shooting hours, there's some doe coming down. I thought, okay, I'm going to take the first one that comes up from this bend. And shot it and ran over it and dropped. It ran, came around the bend in the trail, shot it, it ran north and dropped. Okay. And one of my sons and a nephew were coming out because they want to tell me it was dinner time. That's okay. You guys are here because I got to drag this deer out. You can help me, you know. So we go find the deer I shot, and I come across this doe. And I said, oh, wait a minute. And think about, man, that doe's facing that way. The deer I shot was over there, and it went that way. And I'm looking at this deer, and I said, it fell on its left side. There's not a mark on the right side. I say, okay. There's got to be my deer because the deer, left. And then I rolled it over, and as I told earlier, blood's come out the right side. And so, oh, wait a minute. This is the exit wound on the left side. This has to be interesting. That can't be right. I said, you guys see here. I started walking over, and I found my deer shot in the left side. So I think, okay, this deer must have been from across the street, across the road, where the gunshot hit I heard, and must have come across the road. The thought I heard was it falling over on its side. Mm-hmm. So actually, with one shot,
2 deer.
I don't put my notes on.
Well, I've hit 2 deer with one shot.
I've done that one too.
And,
Yeah, that was
that was back when you could only have one doe license. So I got the one that I was aiming for. What happened was they were lined up side by side, and just as I squeezed off the trigger, the second one started to run and jumped up, and the bullet took the hind legs off right at the knee.
I walked. It was doe season, and doe came out, and I did not see the deer behind it. And I forgot, I had the rifle sight in for, I said 200, 250 yards, this was less than that. And I forgot to compensate for the trajectory. And anyway, and I shot it, and all I see is and it's just now sunset. So legal shooting hour, I think it's like, was over, but I seen this thing running around, and it's like, what's that thing hanging from the deer? I looked at the scope, couldn't figure out what the heck is going on here. So I thought, maybe I just shot it again, and it fell out. And I get up there, and there's 2 deer. So I found that the second one's in the alfalfa field. I'm looking at, okay, so here, bullet took out jaw. So the jaw, what I saw was the jaw, lower jaw hanging. And I think, wow, my gun must be off, but the second shot is where I put it, okay. But then go find the first deer, and I'm thinking, okay, where's the blood on this deer? And finally noticed the base, the top of the neck here, okay, the neck and the coming down the backbone, hit the spine.
It severed it, yeah.
And ricocheted off, hit the deer behind it, which I hadn't seen. At just the right angle, took it out in the jaw.
Well, that comes to the end of our time.
Oh, yes. Oh.
And that, so we will be here again next week on the same bat channel, same bat time, with the same bat characters. I want to thank
We are getting close to Halloween.
I want to thank everybody, and remember, post to all your friends about this, and I still have the Trump flag waiting for a donation to come in to buy it, and if it comes in, I will autograph it along with Mr. T, and my address is Darrell Civic, 9931 Williamson Road, Meadville, PA, occupied zone number 16335. And that, so anyway, I guess that's the end of it. All you kids out there in the chat, thanks for tuning in, and remember, spread the word to all your people out there that you know, and so we can keep our listenership up. I know Sunday night might be a bad night because of all the stuff that's going on, but hey, sometimes you have to make some sacrifices.
Mind the Steelers were at an off weekend, bye weekend, and the Browns too. Bye weekend, so.
Yeah, so.
Jack's be listening.
Yeah. So at that point,
I think we went camping again.
let's see. Darrell, someday I'll fly over your house.
Who's that?
Bob.
Oh.
Hey, if you're going to fly over my house, stop at the airport up there and give me a call, and I'll come up and you pick me up and give me a flight. I haven't been up in a plane for a long time. And I won't fly commercial because I found my name is on the no-fly list.
You know what the TSA pat you down?
No, I don't want them faggots and queers to pat me down. Hell, I don't even pat myself down anymore.
I want you to ask them. Won't touch that one.
Here's one from somebody, Joseph. I'm not.
The
Jig Radio.
Joseph.
Joseph. Okay, Joe, so I won't use the last name. Yeah, I'm sorry you tuned in late, but we will be here at 6 o'clock next week.
I'll get it. Oh, what did I say? A tandem rate. Oh, okay.
Okay, folks, I gotta get off because I gotta go unload my car, and then I want to
Yeah,
sit
I
down.
get
I want to sit down and relax. So,
Maybe there's some
once
coffee.
again, folks, good night. Thanks for listening to BraveheartRadio.net.com on YouTube. Okay, and hopefully here soon I'll be able to figure out how to get the music on there so we can have some music.
Have a great week.
Good night.